NBA basketball totals for Wednesday, December 28th. This is our segment where we look at the totals set by odds makers. This is for you new guys. And we try to beat that line either over or under the total. Right now, our record, we're sitting right around 500 with a really, really bad day yesterday. Just awful day across the board, college and the NBA. It just goes that way sometimes, but we got to bounce back. Luckily, it's just December. We got a lot of months left. And don't forget, you got SBR, by the way, for all the odds and all the sports books reviews. That's why we do these videos, to get you guys connected to one of the best websites out there as far as sports are concerned. We got the blacklist, sports books to avoid. It's all there at SBR. So be sure to check out our website. We also have our like I mentioned already, we have our NCAA segment out there. That covers the same type of topic, and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to dive into today. Yesterday's gone, and now we're into today, and hopefully we'll bounce back. But yeah, really bad day yesterday, and I'm the first to admit I was terrible. All right, here we go. Let's jump into some games. On the totals, I'm going over on all these three games. The first one we have up is Indiana and Washington. Oddsmakers have it at 212, and I'm going over that total. Now, the last time these guys met, the game ended up at 212. You had Washington losing 105 to 107. But when we look at that game a little bit closely, you got a Washington and an Indiana team that got up 88 and 87 attempts respectively. That's some pretty good tempo, but they did not shoot well at all. Washington shot 43% from the floor, and they shot 24% from distance. Indiana, not bad. They shot 47% from the floor, but just 33% from distance. Their numbers statistically are better on the year, though, except for that 47% from the floor. That was pretty solid by Indiana. But overall, we should see better shooting statistics from these teams. Two teams that like to get up and down. Let's dig into some statistics, a little bit more on this game. Right now, we got Washington getting up scoring, on average, 105.1 points per game. Indiana, 103.8. That's not that great. That doesn't get us to 212. But defensively, they've been not that great, both of them. No matter how, if Scott Brooks wants to tell his team play better D, that's fine. He's never been a defensive guru. I mean, when he was at OKC, they just got up and down the floor, but also they were quite loaded with those squads he had. But their teams the way he likes to coach is get into transition, get out, spread the floor, shoot the three, kind of the way the traditional, offensive sets that the NBA is leaning towards right now. Get out and that pace and space. Washington, they're allowing 106.5 points per game. They're ranked 23rd in the NBA. Indiana, they're allowing 105.8. They're ranked 19th. Nate McMillan, he's not afraid to go fast. Indiana, they're going to get up and down. So is Washington. I think it's going to be a really fast-paced affair. You got right now Indiana shooting 45.2% from the floor. That ranks right in the middle of the league. You got Washington shooting 46.6% from the floor. That ranks 6th in the league. Both their tempo is really good. We're going to see about 87 to 90 attempts, and it's going to be really fast. I think they get over that 212. If their percentages remain true, I mean, it looks kind of high, that 212, but when you get into their stats, and neither team really is defensive juggernaut, I think we're going to get over that number. So I'm going to go back over the 212. The next one up we got is Brooklyn and Chicago. The Nets, big upset over Charlotte the other night. They were 7-point dogs in that too. Big shot there by Foy there to win it. Pretty big total here. 213.5, but I'm going over. Now, the first time they met up, 118 to 88. Chicago won, but Brooklyn, I'm not going to bring that game up. I already know. Brooklyn, they couldn't hit a bucket. I mean, they shot like 38% from the floor, just something terrible. Let me look at it. What the heck? They were really bad. Let's see how close I was on the stats. They shot 34% from the floor in that matchup, and they shot 16% from distance. Just awful. They're so bad defensively. I mean, any teams must be licking their chops to play the Nets because all they do is give up tempo and points. And now Hoiberg, although he's focused a little bit better more this year, and Chicago's defense has been better, I think they're going to be happy to go ahead and get up and down, especially after just playing the Spurs. This is going to be a completely different dynamic for them, and I like for these two teams to really get up and down the floor. You got a Brooklyn team right now, they're allowing 114.8 points per game. Now, the issue today for this one is because it's 213.5 is can Brooklyn score? Chicago's going to score. Chicago's going to put up over 210. But can Brooklyn do it? I think they can. I really do. You got a Brooklyn team right now. I mean, they're not horrible. They're shooting 44% from the floor. They're shooting 51% on their two-point shots. That ranks 9th in the NBA. They push a ton of tempo. They're averaging 37.8 field goals made per game. That ranks just outside the top half of the league. I mean, they're going to score some points. Chicago's defense is good, but they're not locked down. I mean, they're allowing opponents to shoot 45% from the floor. So look for these two teams just to be an absolute track meet. Although it's not at Brooklyn, Chicago, they might put up 120 with Brooklyn scoring like 100. But I think they get over that 213.5. All right, last one up. Over again on this one, we got Minnesota to Denver. Really big total, 217.5. Now, the first time and only time these guys met up, or the last time they met up, I don't think they met up a time before that. Yeah, this is way earlier in the year. 102.99, Denver won. The pace wasn't bad. Minnesota got up 88 attempts. Denver only got up 81, but Denver's gone much, much quicker. This was way earlier in the year. Denver shot 48% for the floor. Minnesota shot under 40%. Denver couldn't shoot a three at 27%. And Minnesota at the beginning of the year, if you remember, like the first 5 weeks of the year, they led the NBA in three-point shooting percentage. That's gone down a lot, but they shot 41% in that game from distance. Statistically speaking, this has got to be all about Denver getting up and down. And Minnesota, if you run, they'll run with you. Thibodeau, I don't know what he's got to get these guys to play some better defense, because right now they're allowing 105.9 points per game. They're always 20th in the league. Tom Thibodeau, they're just too young. They're too young, and they want to get up and down, and I don't think he wants to do that so much, because you look at their tempo. Just a quick analysis of Minnesota. They're averaging 84 attempts per game. That ranks 24th in the NBA. And then defensively, they're allowing 82.5. That ranks 5th in the NBA. That's Tom Thibodeau right there, not allowing that tempo. But he just doesn't. It seems like the personnel he has, though, they're so athletic. They can really, they could score a lot with teams that like to get up and down. If you've noticed, Minnesota could put up some points in a hurry. I think they're going to do that tonight against a Denver team that's not very good defensively. You look at their stats, and Mike Malone, he needs to do a better job as well. They're allowing opponents to shoot 46.7% overall. That's really bad. Minnesota is allowing opponents to shoot 46.8%. Those are two of the worst defensive percentages in the league. Minnesota's averaging 103.8 points. Denver's averaging 107.5 points. That doesn't get it there. Defensively, though, I think we get there with the pace, and both these teams can score. Absolutely. So look for this game really to get up and down and for them to shoot at some decent percentages. I like for this game to get over the total. All right, quick recap. I'm going over on all these games today. Again, here we go. We got Indiana-Washington over 212. Indiana-Washington over 212. I like the fact that McMillan and Brooks are going to go ahead and let those guys just get up and down the floor, and they're going to shoot a lot better than their first matchup. Brooklyn-Chicago over the 213.5. Chicago's going to score a ton. I think Brooklyn's going to be able to score enough to get us over there. And Minnesota-Denver over the 217.5 in a game. I think both teams defensively have not been there. Denver's going to control the tempo going really fast. Minnesota's going to be happy to do that and go out and run, probably much to the chagrin of Tom Thibodeau. But that's a pretty good matchup right there. I don't have any leans on these games as far as the points are concerned, but those are my three totals picks, and I wish you guys luck on your picks today.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.